And we are live in Transformational Tuesday. I'm Amanda Beth Johnson, joined by Andy Nam, and we are going to talk about the emotional alchemy for this 999 gateway. So, yeah, I feel like I'm jumping on the bandwagon here, but I think it's really, really important. This last full moon has just really kicked up the energy. And so I wanted to really kind of talk about and put that whole 999 into perspective. So we know astrology is not my huge focus. Numerology is not my huge focus, but I dabble like everyone does. And so the power of this gateway is talking about completion and emotional release. So if you're ready to stop carrying what's not yours, lighten your emotional field and reconnect with your authentic flow, you're in the right spot. We are here. Andy and I were joking before we went on. Yeah, I have too many notes for today, so excuse me for scrolling around. So let's get grounded. Let's let Amanda get grounded. So take in a really nice deep breath and feel this breath all the way down to your toes. Just really bring that in. And if you can imagine that breath as you draw it in is going down into Mother Earth, and as you exhale, feel that energy from Mother Earth coming back up through your body and grounding you. Oh, that feels good. Okay, so today we're going to focus on this emotional clarity and an energetic renewal, kind of renewing your energy as we've done it. So we talk about the 999. Oh, and how you get the third nine there for anyone who's not uh, into numerology. So it's the ninth day of the ninth month. There's our first two nines. And then the year 2025. In numerology, you add all of those numbers together and it equals nine. And so you've got
Okay.
99. Great. That's why last year's Lionsgate in August was so powerful because it was an 888. And so when you triple these numbers, you just really intensify the energy that goes with that. And so the nine is closing that karmic loop. It's getting rid of the old stuff. It's the end of a cycle, if you will, when we look at it from a numerology standpoint. So being the wisdom, the endings, closing, and looking for that higher perspective. And so we've tripled all of this. And so this makes it really perfect for letting go of all those outdated emotions that you've been packing along with you. So as we continue to venture into this, think about what have you emotionally outgrown? What's something on an emotional plane that you can really get rid of? And also thinking about what you're ready to release, even if you don't fully understand it. And that's one of the cool things that we don't always have to understand things, but a lot of times when an emotion comes up, the first thing to say is, why am I having this emotion? What does it have to do with? What is it meaning? And does it really pertain to me? If it is your emotion and what you're bringing up, then look at those issues and see how you can slant it, how you can change it, how you change your perspective of that, and then let go of that emotion. You got to feel it. You can't just skip them. I wish we could, because there's some big ones there that are just no fun. How does that sit with you, Andy? Do you think of things that you can let go of?
Oh, I got so many things I want to let go of. It's so amazing because so many people think that December is the end of the year. And I love that you're talking about we're capping it off here in September because so much has changed in the last year, even for me and Minna. And so many emotions we want to let go, like so much more clarity, all the people, that we don't resonate with, or don't resonate with us, it's time to let them go because like it's hard helping everyone unless they resonate with you, right?
Oh, yeah, and that's what I talk about a lot as we heal. And so I talk about, it's kind of like everything we do is it's another step in your journey. It's
Yeah.
it's healing. And, recently we've talked about, breaking out of that
Mhm,
mold that society and family and religion and everybody has tucked you into. And that's not necessarily who you came here to be.
mhm.
And as you start making those changes and those shifts, your circle changes. And that's not a bad thing. I
Correct.
mean, we talk about your kindergarten bestie, it's not still your bestie. Not because you hate them or there was a falling out necessarily, just because you grow and you change and you can't allow yourself to be held back. It doesn't mean that you completely cut the strings with those people. It just means that you pursue other things and they have opportunities to grow and change as well. And you've had people leave your circle that you didn't necessarily understand why, but
Mhm.
as long as you can appreciate every person's individuality and support them in whatever it is they're doing, we grow. And that's where, you when you have all of these emotions around it, if you don't process those emotions, then they become baggage and weight.
That is so true because it's like when I finally let it go, it almost felt like a heaviness was lifted, right?
Oh,
So
it does,
yeah.
because all of these inherited emotions, we
Mhm.
we pick them up along the way, we put them in our bag, and we carry them along. It's like, yeah, well, so and so gave me this, and so gave me that, and I'm still holding. Why?
Yes.
Those are past versions of yourself. And then as we go through the whole collective and everything that comes out in the collective, even if it's something that I'm not worrying about, and I refer to it being in a small agricultural, farming based community.
Mhm.
If we've had a year that's just total rain all the time and our crops are flooded, I live in town, I don't have crops.
Mhm.
But that sets the energetic tone for the whole community, and the same thing with drought.
Correct.
This year we had a lot of rain, but then it dried out and our crops, the corn's drying down, it's looking amazing right now, I gotta tell you. But that affects, and then, you have your kind of regional, if someone's had a bad day in your household,
Mhm.
it can be your spouse, it can be your kids, it can, your pet's having a bad day, they share, and you are sharing your energy with your pets. I recently had an incident where I was really unhappy and I expressed my unhappiness. The dogs, they disappeared. They're like, oh, we're not hanging around for this. And the same thing too, when you're not feeling well, your
Mhm.
pets are attracted to you.
Yes.
It's like, oh, this is pretty serious. The dog won't leave me alone. They're waiting for me to like croak or something. So be aware of the energy that you have. And so the full moon, we just had the full moon Sunday night. There was an eclipse. We didn't get to see it here on this part of the planet, but that was a huge full moon. And full moons are about releasing and letting go. And so having this 999 gate at the heels of this, knowing that this is the closure time of all those things that we release. So if there's anything you didn't release on that full moon, go ahead and release it now and continue that process. And the energetics of these usually go on for like 3 days before and 3 days after, if you're sensitive to the energy. If you're not sensitive to the energy and you still want to take advantage of it, do it. Find out what it is you can get rid of, and some of those bigger feelings you may need some support on. And
Mhm.
that's where when we talk about the whole healing and clearing, and sometimes when you get stuck and you just don't know, it's like, this seems to be a pattern I'm repeating. I don't know how to break it. And that's when you reach out. You reach out to healers like myself. If it's a health issue, certainly, Andy being a functional nutritionist can kind of look at, okay, is it what you're putting in your body and help you figure that out? you know and we have lots of other people. We're part of the Chronic Health Collective. There's several coaches there in that as well. So there are plenty of people out there to help you. You do not need to go through any of this alone. So which is going to bring me to talk about my SereniEssence product that I have. And but I think before we do that, let's do some of that theta clearing that I do, the theta healing. Does that make sense? And did you have any questions, Andy?
No, no, it all makes sense. Like I said, it's all coming together. And I said, yeah, I'm gonna hop on. I want a little bit of clearing today. So it's all
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. It's awesome to accept the energetic work as it's live, but
Mhm.
also because it's energetic work, you can say yes out loud and in the comments when you catch this on the replay. The energy is still there for your taking. And if there's something that's said today and it's like, "Ah, I didn't quite get that," go back, listen to the replay, say yes again, and you'll continue to get the work and possibly even at a deeper level when you listen to it on a replay and you accept the work again. So if your body and your mind and your subconscious wasn't quite ready for it, sometimes that's what those replays are really good for. So, and if you don't catch them on LinkedIn or on Facebook, they are also in my YouTube channel, which is Amanda Beth at Iowa Salt Pod. So, anyway, so let's move on. Let's do some of this clearing. So, take a deep breath. Breathing, it's so important. We talked about that last weekend, didn't we, Andy? Yeah,
Yes, we did.
activate all those cells and just really bring in some grounding because I feel like I've been talking 100 miles an hour. So feel the earth below you, feel that space around you, and feel into yourself and your own emotions and where you are right now and what you're willing to let go of. A lot of the downloads we're going to do are going to answer to some of those deeper things that are in your being that you can let go of. You don't even have to name them, but just say yes out loud if you'd like the work as I offer it.
Yes.
So, first of all, we're going to talk about that emotional burden, that over responsibility. So, would you like to release the obligation that you have to carry everyone else's emotions to be loved? We're going to download that you know what it feels like to feel empathy without absorbing the pain, that you remember that you are safe and you're still deeply connected, even when others are hurting. You don't have to take on their pain. You like those beliefs, just say yes out loud.
Yes.
We're going to add that forgiveness work in there as well to forgive yourself for carrying these beliefs, for carrying other people's stuff that's not yours, and to have that discernment of what is yours to carry and to have the discernment to know when it's safe to release those emotions that it's no longer your burden to carry. So we'll throw those on there too. Just say yes out loud and in the comments.
Yes.
Okay. Those stuck emotions, they leave us stuck. And when we're stuck, we can't complete that cycle. And this 999 is about completing that cycle and letting go and not continuing. So let's clear that energy of the grief, the guilt, the anger, or the confusion that you didn't have time to fully process those. Um, if they weren't fully processed, then maybe they weren't yours to have. So let's release those. And let's also download and create alignment with what it feels like to complete that cycle, that you can do it with grace and ease, and just know that it's safe to let go of what no longer serves you. And we're going to remove what prevents you from letting go of it. If you'd like that, just say yes.
Yes.
That's a big one. That was a big one. Okay. Next to my notes as I keep scrolling here, the shame and the self-blame. Those are the things that we feel shame and we blame ourselves because we can't get out of this loop. Sometimes you really do have to look outside of yourself to get out of the loop of that pattern. You first have to acknowledge it's a pattern. You have to see it as a loop. And sometimes that's where having a coach to help you see those loops is really beneficial. But let's download the let's release that shame and blame for allowing that loop to continue. We're going to forgive yourself, your higher power, and anybody else that's been reinforcing that with you. Let's forgive them and let's let go of it. And let's download and align that what it is to be forgiven, that you are already forgiven. You are already worthy and you are whole. Let's download what that feels like. Let's align that definition as well. If you'd like that, just say yes.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, and having your emotional alignment and that sovereignty that allows you to honor your feelings as yours, but you don't have to be ruled by them. Your experiences and your emotions don't define who you are. You're going to be able to let go of those, and be a sovereign person. Be who you're meant to be, who you're brought here to be. And let's download and align that you know what it feels like to live from emotional clarity instead of emotional chaos. Yeah, that emotional chaos, I think, is something that's very real, and we need to label it that. And let's download the clarity. We don't have to play in the chaos game anymore. If you'd like that, just say yes.
Yes.
Okay. So let's also download that it's safe to reach out and to receive some emotional support without feeling guilt, without feeling shame, and without needing to explain. Those to let's create that it's safe to ask for help without all of the baggage that goes with it, and that you have the discernment of who to ask for help with. um, you're obviously not going to walk up to other people who are playing and enjoying the emotional chaos. You're gonna be drawn to those who can help you create that safe space to offload those emotions, to let go of the things that no longer serve you. If you'd like that, let's say yes.
Yes.
And again, we've included the forgiveness work on all of these. Okay. All right, take a nice deep breath and that was a lot of work. Let's let that work integrate into your body. You may feel it right away. You may feel it later. You're going to see some clarity when you look out. Life is going to have a new vibrancy for you. And as you let go of this, a lot of people feel a weight lifted. How are you feeling, Andy?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
You say, I didn't even know I needed all this work. I knew I needed something, but not necessarily all this. So yeah, you don't have to try to hold on to any of the work that we did today. Your body is going to know what it is. Drink a little bit more water, be gentle, create some space to just kind of absorb this and let the real you shine through, because that's so important. And then when you're really struggling with the emotions, and sometimes you feel you need something more than the theta work to do it, or you want to do it on your own. And that's exactly what my SereniEssence Blend does. It's based on the Bach Flower essences. So Dr. Bach was a naturopath. He went out, he was not feeling well. He went into nature and he found these flowers that had the energetic ability to stabilize different things. And so they have been, they're made into, I should have had a bottle on my desk. I don't. I cleared off my desk today. Um, but the Bach essences, it is the energetic essence that each flower contains. And there are 32 essences, and
Wow.
each one does something a little bit different. And they're a gentle way to help you unlock and shift emotional patterns. They look at specific things like overwhelm, guilt, despair, people pleasing, and overall emotional numbness. They really work in those 6 areas, and those essences have been kind of divided in there. And so, with the Serenity Essence, I have you fill out a survey,
Mhm.
and we look at and see where you're feeling things, and they really help you with that emotional balance. It does this energetic clearing. It's formulated into water droplets, and so you're going to put those drops. You can put them under your tongue a few times a day, or you can just put them in your water bottle, which is what I really encourage, because drinking a whole bottle of the full essence really doesn't do a lot. But if you take just tiny amounts of that essence all day long, like you're sipping it in your water bottle, there also are different affirmations that come with each essence. So the SereniEssence is a combination of 4 to 7. I really like doing 4 or 5 essences. I feel they really work a lot better. And then we're going to give you an affirmation for each of those. And what I suggest is you write them on your water bottle. And then every time you're sipping, you're saying these affirmations. So, Kim has done this with me, and she put on a really a nice testimonial. And she says, I came to Amanda skeptical, worn from years in survival mode, but with her support and gentle guidance of the Bach flowers, I found something I hadn't expected myself. The softness I had buried, the strength I thought was lost, began to bloom again. Amanda has helped me remember that healing is a daily choice and wholeness is always within reach. Her work helped me not just survive, but to start to truly thrive. And I've known Kim for many years. I've worked with her professionally in the medical clinic, and I know the survival mode that she was in. She's also a veteran and continuing to work in the medical services and everything. And she was really stuck in that. And being a mom and working full time, you don't always have time to go and do services. So her doing those Bach flowers really allowed her control to take it back. And she knew how much work she had done, because just in 2 weeks later, she took another survey, and it's like, wow, there's like nothing to work on. And she just did feel better. And that's how everybody feels. And so we offer that. It is on my website under the different services. So, or you can DM me to find out more about that. And yeah, we'll just go through that and we'll see what you need and how that works. So it's at amandabethhealing.com/homeopathy. So yeah, that was a lot. Do you have any questions, Andy? You looked very intrigued.
I am intrigued. The more I listen to you, all this energy healing is like I said, in this last 12 months, I experienced so much energy healing, tapping into that intuition. That's not something that I did, for 13 years. I'm always looking at different holistic healing modalities. And of course, you see it on TikTok, you see it on YouTube, but I never actually had personal friends in my network that taught this. And like I said, it's like I'm in my office 2 floors up. And even in the beginning, when you say grounding to the floor, it's like, wow, I can almost feel my toes like gripping into the carpet. And you just visualizing grounding the
Uh-huh.
floor. And it's amazing. These are not things that I would think that your body can actually feel. So for all the people out there that is woo woo, I think it's so important to open up your mind, because your mind might not be ready for it, but your body definitely is.
Oh, your body is
Yeah.
screaming for it. Absolutely. But that also brings back the power of thought.
Hmm.
If you being on a second floor, obviously in a carpeted room,
Yes.
and you're able to feel that, that's what you're telling your brain to feel. That's what you're
Mhm.
telling your body. So the
Right.
words that we speak to ourselves are incredibly powerful. You keep telling yourself you're having a bad day, you're going to have the worst day.
Agreed.
You know, you tell yourself, hey, today's better than yesterday. I woke up alive. You know, um, those of us with chronic pain, it's like, oh, got pain, I'm alive. You know, celebrate it. Thank your body. It's okay. And even if you only release one emotional pattern a day, that's huge. Think of how many years, weeks, days, months, whatever, how
Mhm.
long you've been carrying that. And so when you are able to release something, even the little things, you've started that path, and that's so huge. So the affirmation for today is I honor the emotions that have shaped me, and I now welcome clarity and peace that await me.
I love that.
I think that is so cool. Um, and I love, I have the manifestation cards, Rhonda Burns cards. And today's card, which I'm going to go ahead and read, positivity and kindness are all you need. The path to your best life ever is actually so very easy. Positive thoughts, positive words, and the acts of kindness. That's it. So,
That's
our,
awesome. And that's so simple, right?
just be
you know,
positive.
people concentrate on the negativity. It's just like you said, just a mindset shift, right? There's positivity in everything around us at all times, right?
And then let's see, the Chronic Health Collective master classes. We're doing this in summit style. There are so many great things to look at. We're closing out our year with Chronic Health Collective. And so that is going to be on the 19th and the 20th and the 26th and the 27th. We
Mhm.
have 14 coaches and all of our amazing guests. It's coming together. I know that's a huge thing that you have taken on, Andy, for the Chronic Health Collective to really pull it together and have our year go out in a bang. I'm just
I think it's amazing. And, I just want to just play a short little clip that you put
oh
together for all of us. I
yeah.
think it's great to share, to people what to expect. Here we go. It's going to be an awesome event.
Oh,
I'm
it
so
is.
excited, and I'm meeting the speakers as the event comes up. And I tell you, it's going to be powerful. It's going to be
It
powerful.
is. And that's the cool thing with Chronic Health Collective. It's about anything that contributes to your health,
Yes.
which is it's also your physical health, your
Mhm.
emotional health, your financial health, your
Yes.
relationships.
Mhm.
It's every aspect that we have covered with this panel of coaches. It's so awesome. And I am still working on my next book. I believe the title is pretty much firmed, written between the lines. Goes into more detail about just exactly what it is I do and how I came to acknowledging and experiencing my gifts. I am so excited. So I look forward to any questions anybody's got, anything that we can do to help keep you in alignment and making those changes in progress. So thanks for being here, Andy. It's been great. And we'll see everybody next week.
Yes, always a pleasure. I always feel lighter after your sessions. And, I really hope that people are watching the replays. And like you said, to say yes, it really makes a big difference. When I was with you in the beginning, I'll say yes in my head. But, it just feels so much more powerful when you say it outright because I don't know, someone's hearing it and something's changing. So
Yes, when you say it out loud, that is what gives the power. It prepares your conscious, your
right.
subconscious, your mind. It prepares your body to take the work. And when you don't say it out loud,
Mhm,
it doesn't work as well. But knowing that you heard it, and if you
mhm,
didn't say out loud during the live, you don't have to necessarily, you can say, yes, I received the work that was said,
mhm.
so
I
it
love it.
works. It works. It's energy. It's all there.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Amanda.
Uh-huh.